welcome everybody to Australian Hypnosis Conference. Today I'm talking to Kerre. Now, Kerre, you did an amazing presentation last year about your sleep talk with kids, and I honestly think we need more of that outside of our community as well. And this year you're returning to From Therapist to Thought Leader, Step Up, Stand Out, and Start Speaking. Now, I did your training in New Zealand, which was fucking amazing. By the way,
Thank you.
absolutely loved it. Got heaps of hints and tips. But tell us what people are going to learn when they come to your talk at Australian Hypnosis Conference.
Honestly, Trish, it's probably the most valuable skill they can possibly have. Now,
Mm.
many will argue that yes, we're professionals in our own right, but if you cannot get up on a stage, if you cannot share with people your message, then your business, even though we put marketing and we put effort into all these areas, this is the number one thing everybody's got to have, because there are people in audiences who want to listen, who want to know these messages. And in a way, Trish, I started doing this because I found so many of us that are healers, that are therapists, that are hypnotherapists. We all sort of stand back and we all cringe at the thought of getting up in front of people and sharing the message, which really blew me away. And I'm thinking, do they realize that, particularly now, people do, when we're busy, we've got lots on, the one-to-one, although it's very admirable and there's many people that do it, it's not the best or viable way to actually run your business. You need to be in front of groups, and the best way to do that is to actually get up on a platform, whether it's a webinar, whether it's basically in front of a group of people. It is definitely, we all have the skills. We all, and I know I said this at your training, we all can do it. It's really between here. It's those 3 or 4 inches of real estate where even as professionals, we let our own limiting beliefs get in the way.
Yeah.
So I started doing these courses simply to help people come to understand that it's easier than they think. There are skills involved. And even if you are very shy, very introverted, some of the best speakers in the world are that way, but we can turn it on and we can turn it off. And it is for the benefit. It is a great way of propelling your business to the levels that you want to go to.
And you'll be showing people how to actually articulate it because there's a lot of people that don't seem to be able to articulate exactly what it is that they do.
Exactly. And again, people think that it just comes naturally. And if you're sitting here listening and thinking, oh, yes, they're a good speaker and they're a great speaker, but I can't do that because I can't do it naturally. The skills that we learn is how much information to share, how to focus on what your key points are. And sometimes we have so much passion and we have so much knowledge that without these little tricks, I guess, without the hints and tricks, we just bombard people. And again, that is what I see many times. And it's funny, you go to the conferences, and I love going to conferences of all different industries, and you see some people who are quite brilliant, but they lose their audiences in the first 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And we're sort of sitting in the audience. Sometimes we can be a little like ants. We can have that 6 second, I guess you could say we've got to have a reason to sit there and listen. And if
We
after
do,
six
we
or
know
seven
off.
seconds, yeah, we start focusing on other stuff. So again, a great speaker does not necessarily have to have all the knowledge, but knows what's important, who their audience is, and how they're going to get that message across. And I have some clients that come to me, some people that have popped into the training, and they're as dry as Trish. They just you just almost fall asleep before they
Yep,
finish their
they're doing the
introduction.
nods.
And at the end of the day, I love taking them and going, you know what? Let's try this, this, and this. And we've got to be entertainers, yes, but
Yes.
we've got to hold people's attention. And again, to do that, we have to give people a reason why they want to listen to us. And once you get over that, it's a wonderful vocation to be in. I have had people who have come to me just to get over their nerves in front of people and have gone on to do international conventions and just been
Wow.
brilliant because the skills are the same.
Yeah, lovely. Based on your experience, because you've worked with a lot of these people, based on your experience, have you come across those people that are actually really good speakers, but then it's as if they're just sticking to that script and they can't go outside it or something?
Yes, I have. And again, I believe sometimes, Trish, that is people are a little nervous to be themselves.
Yeah.
And look, I'll give you an example. Me, myself, got into the speaking industry because I got called out by a hypnotherapist who said, "Don't be silly, Kerry. You would be a great speaker because you're so authentic, you're so passionate." And he was right. At the end of the day, I was thinking I'm not articulate enough. I don't speak well enough. Maybe I have to have elocution lessons. I had all these things wrapped up in I have to be this fabulous speaker. And Trish, I've had times where I've been so excited I've walked off the stage, which has been and you know what? That woke up the audience. But again,
There's an
people need to
icebreaker.
yeah, it's a great icebreaker. But it just goes to show you that when people come up to me, and I've spoken all over the world, but have come up to me and said, "Oh my God, there was 300 people in the room, yet you were talking to me." And they relate to you. So they've got that connection. Now we know how strong that is. So
Mhm.
we know that if you're authentic and you're passionate and you know you've got a message that's going to help people, and let's face it, every one of us has,
Mm.
then we should be doing it. And if you want to really become a thought leader, this is where thought leaders came into effect. There are so many therapists out there. And come November, people will know they're sitting in the audience and they're sitting next to brilliance. But those people who are brilliant, who have these huge messages, they need to be stepping up and speaking. They need to be at the next conference or they need to be in front of their peers because that's how powerful that they will become. They will become thought leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. And honestly, come along to Australian Hypnosis Conference, get your bum on a seat and listen to Kerry because you're not going to be doing the nod. You're not going to be going, oh my God, this woman is sticking to a script. You are literally going to be able to articulate your message because your message might save someone's life. It might change someone.
Well, Trish, there's a perfect example. I think the first time I talked before maybe 3,000 people, it was down in Melbourne. The numbers weren't worrying me, but what did worry me is every single one of those people gave feedback at the end, and that we got a feedback form. And out of 3,000 people, I was very lucky. I had some great mentors. There was two people who were not happy with my talk. I did something very military in the middle of the talk. I got everybody to stand up and salute, and 2,998
Oh
people
my
thought it was
God.
fabulous. Two people really had an issue with saluting, and guess what I focused on? It was a really invaluable lesson. I looked at these feedback forms and I thought, oh, well, I won't do that again. I'll take it out of my talk. Until one of my mentors went, "Are you kidding me? There was two people there
Can't
who
let the bullies win.
no, well, this is what we do. We focus on the negative and we know better, but we don't. And I learned a lot from that, that yes, there will be times that if you're willing to get up there and be authentic and be yourself, some things will work and some things don't. That's how we learn. But at
Mm.
the end of the day, you only need one or two people to take your message and run with it, and you've done your duty as a speaker.
Yeah.
So there's some of the things that we talk about, not just at our talk, and I do want everybody to come to the talk, but I also do a very quick training. And as you said, you did it in New Zealand. That training takes you to another level. You do not walk out the same person that you walk into.
And that's true. I can vouch for that. Honestly, get to the post-conference training. Kerry's going to be offering it on the Monday after AHC. I have done it personally. I got so much out of it. And even when Kerry said, oh, look, you're the kind of person who can speak, I still got stuff out of it. And then you had people inside of that training who were so nervous they could barely say hello to you, and they still became speakers by the end. Like you were so nurturing and so fabulous with helping them articulate their messages. and the direction that they had to take. So this is multifaceted. It doesn't matter whether you're just starting out or whether you're a pro or whatever. Your training is multifaceted, and it's fucking amazing. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. So please, everybody, get yourself to Australian Hypnosis Conference, do the post-conference training, and honestly, at the end of the day, Kerry's freaking amazing. So reach out to her if you need anything, because it doesn't matter whether it's speaker training or help with kids, she's your expert in the field. So yeah,
And you do know, Trish, I hate the word expert.
stiff.
No, but that's true. It is a 4 hour training, and
Yeah.
that what I love getting out of it is seeing the transformation. And do you know, Trish, just from last year, I have 8 people now doing international conventions. And
Yeah.
I'm so proud of each and every one of them.
Oh my
It is doable. So if you're sitting there tonight going, or today going, oh, that can't be me. No, definitely can't do that. You need to be certainly sitting in the front row. I
God.
look forward to it.
Absolutely. So we'll see everybody at Australian Hypnosis Conference, and thank you all for joining in on this conversation. Bye bye.
Bye.